Peace and power, family. Welcome back to Unto Read with B, tips for creatives. And we're going to hop right into it because I want to do things a little differently now, where we're going to have shorter videos, but more videos. Hopefully, pray for me, child. The first tip I want to start with says, prioritize self-care in this time. Slow down and check in with self before moving again. And I think this is an important tip because we have to pay attention to nature and what nature is doing in this season, right? Nature is shedding, nature is shutting down, nature is hibernating, nature is resting, and we need to get into that same energy right now and really start taking care of ourselves, shedding things we don't need, shedding some certain responsibilities that are getting in our way of us being able to really rest, because that's what this season is all about. So prioritize self-care in this time and slow down and check in with you and what you really need and what you really want to be able to do the things that you want to do, right? Before you get moving again. The next tip says, embrace your uniqueness and authenticity. It doesn't have to make sense to anyone but you. And I think that really stems into what it means for you to rest, what it means for you to celebrate, what it means for you to be in the holiday spirit, even if it's centered specifically around your creativity. If you want to create things and you feel like they're coming from a new place, a place that you're not really certain about, or something that you don't think other people will understand, that doesn't matter. You need to create in this moment from your own authentic, unique place, understanding, and experience, right? It only has to make sense to you, okay? The next tip says, don't look for anything but support outside of you first. You are more than enough and you have all you need, right? And I think this tip is important because I'm also doing a series about all about love, and in there it talks about how until you can be good with yourself and content with being in your own energy, you will only be using people when you are spending time with them, right? To fill some unmet need and until you meet your own needs. So this tip is, don't look for anything but support outside of yourself first, right? Because you need to meet your own needs first, which is why I recommend prioritizing self-care and slowing down, because you need to figure out what needs need to be met and how exactly you want that to be done. And until then, you don't need to be looking for anything outside of yourself but support on finding out what needs need to be met. Okay? We have to stop depending on other people to validate and affirm and motivate and inspire. No, you got to pull all of that out of you. Right now, the world is filled with distractions and so many things are going on around us that it's hard to really be walking in alignment and in our true purpose and on our true path. So you have to double down and get focused on what matters to you. All right? So that you can create things that motivate and inspire not only others but yourself. Okay? The next tip I want to say says, step outside your triggers and ask yourself, why is this happening? Okay? Going back to the thing around distractions, there are so many things that are going on right now. Like, it's the holidays, it's getting cold, hurricane season, all of these different things are happening. And it's really hard for us to respond and not react, right? So I think that we have to get in the habit of pausing, right? Practicing that pause. And when you're getting upset, when you're getting anxious, when you're getting nervous, when you're getting confused, when you're getting whatever you are getting, even if it's a positive emotion, pausing and being like, okay, what about this moment is putting me here or making me feel this or moving me in this way, right? And recognizing, is this space that I want to be in, or is this a space that needs to change? Right? So step outside of the trigger. When you notice yourself shifting from one state of being to another, right? Step outside of how you're actually feeling and be like, wait a minute, what's going on right now that is moving me from where I just was into a new space? I think that can be really powerful. And I think that it can help us get clearer on the things that are moving us towards our purpose and the things that are distracting us. And the last tip I want to leave you guys with today says, listen to your emotions and intuition and move forward with grace and not force. Okay? So, a lot of times, even going back to that last point around our triggers, a lot of times we are triggered and we're reacting and we're not able to even deal with what was triggered with us. We're just moving to get out of that energy that we were just in instead of dealing with what information is being provided from the trigger, right? So paying more attention to our emotions and intuition will allow us to make smarter and more aligned and more intentional decisions, right? And when we do that, it'll make it easier for us to move with grace and compassion with ourselves and others and not force. Because that urgency and that force and that I gotta do, I need to, I must really quickly, all of those things, that is getting in the way of us being able to create with intention and purpose and truth. So we have to start listening to what our emotions and our intuition is telling us, the information that it's giving us, so that we can create the things that we want to create. So I'm going to leave this right here. I love y'all and I hope this was helpful. And maybe come back tomorrow for some more tips.